Good evening, everybody. It is Wednesday evening, and it is time to take a spin into the stillness. By stillness, we mean that space in our hearts where we discover the divine within. I'm Reverend Robin Nashak, and I am your guide this evening as the spiritual minister as we hear some guidance, maybe have some questions answered from Spirit, all from the draw of one of our oracle cards, as well as some insight that we'll share along the way. As is our common practice in our ritual, we want to set an intention for tonight's meditation. So it could be in the form of a question that you may have for Spirit, or for the answer, or for some guidance, very specific guidance that you might be seeking to accomplish what you need to accomplish on your journey. And so with that, we're going to invite everyone to just take a few moments to reflect on what that intention might be for the evening. And then if you so choose, you can write it on a little slip of paper like one that I have here. And if you choose to not do that, rather just kind of keep it in your mind, you can envision that intention as a piece of paper or as a little ball in your hand that you want to send all of your energy to, because what I'm going to do is write on one of these slips of paper everyone's intention. And then at the conclusion of tonight, we will burn everyone's intention as we would if we were in person, by throwing that intention on that slip of paper into the flames and allowing whatever we've asked for or whatever guidance we are seeking to return to us in the way that it is meant to. It's an easy process, and all you have to do is think about it. I'm going to write it down. You don't have to, but just remember to send me that energy during that meditation so that it all gets collected into this slip of paper that we have. And again, as usual, we're going to use our beautiful oracle cards. And this is a deck we've been using for quite a bit of time now, for about 2 months, and it's called the Osho Zen Tarot. It has corresponding suits to the regular tarot deck. And I find that the cards, the artwork, and the messages are so beautiful and so pointed and targeted, framing just about every single card in the regular tarot deck in some beautiful, expansive, and introspective way. So I love this deck. We'll use it for a while, and then we'll move on at some point. We want to give some other decks the opportunity to make themselves available, or for Spirit to speak through another deck of cards. If you have a recommendation, please feel free to let me know in the comments. As a matter of fact, if you have anything at all that you'd like to share, we usually finish up the evening by checking in on the comments that you have shared throughout the meditation, or perhaps at the end. So feel free to write anything. If anything has happened to you in the previous week as a result of, or leading back to last week's meditation, which, if you remember, was very powerful because it was on nothingness, or more specifically, no thingness, allowing that beautiful opportunity for creation, that beautiful, expansive, no thingness place where we, by choice, could place, think, do whatever we chose and choose to do. So again, share them in the comments. If you are watching on YouTube, please remember to hit like and subscribe. So helpful if you do. Again, if you're watching on Facebook Live, engage in the conversation. And if you're watching on Zoom, feel free to hit me up in the chats, which I do try to save at the end of every meeting. So just to have them for posterity, so grateful for you and for your time and for your energy for this Wednesday evening, and for all Wednesday evenings you have chosen to make this meditation part of your regular spiritual practice. And you'll notice I've said regular because we do this weekly, but how often you attend is up to you. But if you make it a part of your regular practice, we gather that energy. You might watch the recording or and engage or watch it again once you've seen it from the live stream. And each time you do, it's your energy that gets added to this specific experience. Because as someone who is very dear to me pointed out, each time we gather together, even if it's the same people, the exact same people from week to week, each experience is unique. Something else is created. A new energy is birthed from that experience. And so each and every soul, whether regular, whether drop-in, whether first time, is a part of that unique and beautiful experience of coming together in this virtual, ethereal space. Because as you can see, we all have either avatars as part of Zoom, or we have signed on to YouTube or Facebook, where we exist in our own spaces, in our own homes. But what we're engaging with is an ethereal representation of us, our physical being, wherever we are. So I always like to say, communing over the internet in these spaces that have been so helpful and so blessing for us is the ultimate out-of-body experience, because here we are with representation of who we are, but it's not really us on those screens. It's our essence. Our essences are coming together, represented by whatever digital image we've chosen to share this. So that's my take on technology and our opportunity to gather, convene, and share a community spiritual experience. It makes sense to me. Again, if you have anything to say about it at all, please feel free to share in the comments. And even if you're just joining, want to drop in and don't want to say anything else, just let me know you're here. Having the opportunity to know the numbers informs how we continue doing this, in what way, and if you have any suggestions, that will also be helpful. So very excited about tonight. It is the last meditation for the month, and as my dogs have reminded me, you may hear ambient noise during this meditation because we are at home in our respective spaces. It could be from my place, it could be from yours. And as we have learned in the last several weeks, my dogs make an appearance just when it seems to be the least convenient for the meditative process. However, as we want to be able to do, we want to be able to be in stillness, regardless of what's happening around us. So I will name my dogs teachers and trainers in this experience, because every time that we hear one of those noises that we think pulls us out of that meditative state, we're going to look at that as the opportunity to go a little bit deeper. So we momentarily might be jarred, and we want to just kind of return to that space even deeper, considering whatever noise that is as the indication that it is safe to go a little deeper, or there's even more adventure that awaits us if we go a little deeper. So don't want to give my dogs any responsibility for anything negative. Don't want you to have any noise, ambient noise that exists where you are. Give it that power of being anything negative. Let's take that and let's make it part of the experience, as we're doing right now. So before we've gone into stillness, I guess that's something. But let's start by shuffling the cards. Now, when we shuffle these cards, again, I use the word shuffling dubiously, but I want you to add your energy as I shuffle, even if you're watching on the recording, because that energy gets added and is guiding the card that we pick, which is always the top card. so that you can see what I'm choosing, so that you see that I'm not just reaching in randomly and choosing a card that is my intuition. That if we agree that the top card is the one that is most visible and easy to see as our collective card, then that's the one I'm going to draw. We're all part of it. Make sense? All right, let's take that moment to actually write our intentions down if you haven't, because I want to do that for you. First, by saying everyone has their intention tonight, and it hopefully works. All right, so I've made my personal one, which I like to, throw into the flames for the dramatic effect and for the opportunity to send it out into the universe so that you can see as part of that experience that that's what we do. And of course, everyone's intentions is right here, collected right here in this little billet. Both going to sit very close to me as reminders to toss them into the flames, as I might have forgotten one or two times in the past. So now we can shuffle. Waiting for the dogs. Let's shuffle. All right, so here we go. Just take a few seconds. Think of that intention. And I also want you to know that whatever card comes up, it's not a matter of if it is the answer to your question or if it is the guidance that you seek. Because we are sharing in this experience, it is the answer or the guidance. So your work is to determine within yourself how it is the answer, how it is the guidance. So it is. And you may know it tonight, or you may discover it tomorrow or 2 days from now or over the weekend. But let's approach this experience with the idea and notion and confirmation. Every card we draw is the answer and is the guidance. So here we go. Shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. And our card is, top card right here is, you see it first. Ooh. Silence. Interesting. Given the dog's barking. Silence. So I'm going to put this card down so that I've got a camera aimed right at the card so that as I read about the card, you can take a closer look at it and understand it even more as we read and learn. There it is. So again, I invite you to gaze on the card as I read, reflect on it, pay attention to the image. How does it make you feel when you see it? How does it make you feel when you hear the words that I'm going to read or offer the insight as additional thought? Because therein are your answers. Therein is your guidance. And it's really only information that you can know. So as I said, all of these cards have corresponding suits to the Rider-Waite deck. And I've had the cards for a long time, but I've not really kind of aligned them with the regular tarot deck. I've just used them in and of themselves. So, and really that's how I use them here, but I offer the information of the kind of correspondence as information for your further listening pleasure. And so again, the card is Silence. It is card 17, which is a major arcana card. Silence. Let's learn more about silence as revealed from the oracle of the Osho Zen Tarot. It's ironic that my dogs are worked up tonight as we talk about silence. But again, let's think about silence within, regardless of the noise without. Here's the commentary. And again, as I read, just kind of gaze at the card and see what your thoughts and feelings are about the card. The silent, mirror-like receptiveness of a star-filled night with a full moon is reflected in the misty lake below. The face in the sky is deep in meditation, a goddess of the night who brings depth, peace, and understanding. Now is a very precious time. It will be easy for you to rest inside, to plumb the depths of your own inner silence to the point where it meets the silence of the universe. There's nothing to do, nowhere to go, and the quality of your inner silence permeates everything you do. It might make some people uncomfortable, accustomed as they are to all the noise and activity of the world. Never mind. Seek out those who can resonate with your silence or enjoy your aloneness. Now is the time to come home to yourself. The understanding and insights that come to you in these moments will be manifested later on in a more outgoing phase of your life. The energy of the whole has taken possession of you. You are possessed. You are no more. The whole is. This moment, as the silence penetrates in you, you can understand the significance of it because it is the same silence that Gautama Buddha experienced. It is the same silence that Huang Tzu and Bodhidharma or Nansen, the taste of silence, is the same. Time changes, the world goes on changing, but the experience of silence, the joy of it, remains the same. That is the only thing you can rely upon, the only thing that never dies. It is the only thing that you can call to your very being. Now, I marvel that once again, if you read the blog post that I just sent out, and it talks about the movie Everything, Everywhere, All at Once as a metaphor for the universe, and the multiverse being the whole, and the respective universes being everything else. And so what we find here, which corresponds very, very significantly, is that wholeness. It is the eternal, because there is no time with the silence. The silence is the source. The silence is the way and the destination. It is the journey and the destination. It is everything, everywhere, all at once. That is what exists as the whole, as the all. And as it concludes in the book says, it is the only thing that you can call your very being. That is the silence. It's the space that took place before we learned language, before we learned words, before we learned to represent the thoughts that we were thinking in our infancy, before we knew what we were even thinking, before we had language. for those thoughts. We had the silence within. That baby that is born to chaos going on around it. But inside, he or she is silent. Inside, nothing is screaming, even though on the outside they are screaming. Silence is all that we have. It's the place that we return to when our physical limitations cause us to return to spirit. So quite beautiful, quite synchronous, I think. So let's meditate on it. Let's discover how that is your answer, your guidance that you have sought for tonight. We're going to start by taking our 3 deep breaths as we always do, and let's keep our eyes open. Let's just remain aware of those breaths in a very conscious way for our first 2. So we're going to inhale and fill the body up with all that oxygen, every meridian, every corner of it, from our crown through our heart chakra, through our fingertips, all the way down to our toes as we take in that breath, and then hold for a moment. Know that there is a pause, a great pause, a pause of silence before we exhale and it all begins again. So think of that pause, because we had a pause 2 weeks ago, as the silence. So do that consciously together. Let's inhale. And exhale. And feel the silence. Let's do it again. Inhale. Exhale. And on this last breath, you can allow your eyes to flutter closed. We'll keep the picture up, the card up for you to look at if you want to kind of take a glimpse at it during the meditation. But just allow your eyelids to flutter closed loosely. And then if you can, kind of roll your eyes back toward your third eye as you do. That'll help keep you awake and alert as you relax more deeply. So let's do that. Inhale. Exhale and allow those eyes to flutter shut. As you continue breathing deeply, inhaling and exhaling. For now, we are conscious of that breath. We are aware of how it feels as it enters our body. Just allow the tones to take you deeply with the breath at a natural but intentional pace. And if you can, notice that pause as you inhale, that moment of silence before you exhale. Just feel that breath. Entering, filling, pausing, and then releasing. With each tone, we are drawn further and further into ourselves. It's almost like our physical body begins to turn inside out. We can imagine our physical self just turning in, almost like it's being sucked through our heart chakra area. Just turning in. We sense as it turns in, and then we imagine that we are arriving on the other side of the inside out movement we are on now. The inside. Then pulled into our deep self gently and lovingly. And what has pulled us in is a deep, pure, silent presence that is our very essence. As we emerge on the other side, we are greeted silently by our presence. And that presence welcomes us without words. But with volumes being spoken, love being offered in its silence. We recognize that there is sound from the tones. There may be ambient noise where I am or where you are that you hear. And yet, you sense the silence. That comes from the presence It is in this silence where we will discover our answers this evening. Allow the silence to guide you through this journey this evening. You may want to look at the card once again. Imagine how the tones and the image contributes to creates and sustains the silence that the presence offers this evening. So just allow it to synthesize experience of all of the senses to inform the silence so that we understand what our very own divine essence has for us this evening. Just relax. Experience the silence from you. our presence, our deep self, has shared with us the answer to the question we have intended, the guidance that we have sought. And if we haven't understood it tonight, our presence has assured us that we will understand, we will know. And all will be revealed in the time ahead. This alignment with our deep self, with our presence, is in alignment with the whole, the all. For as we align with our deep self and become aware of that presence within, as we become aware of the voice of our presence being the voice of the all, we are humbled, we are encouraged, we are empowered. The power of the all is the power of every part of the all. So it makes our usual practice of opening ourselves during our meditation to the other souls that have joined us, either through the live stream experience communally or through the experience that we've had on the recording. We allow our souls to open and greet those who have joined us, who are joining us, and who will join us as they listen, as they process, as they reflect. When it's over, we are all joined this evening or whenever we experience this meditation, this event. We are joined as one. We are each our own universes in the great silent multiverse. The multiverse's deep silence is expressed to us and through us in the silence. Let us feel the warmth. Let us feel the energy. Let us feel that golden thread of light that connects each of us here and each soul beyond this experience. Let us imagine that thread connecting. And let us imagine each piece of thread connecting to a greater tapestry that is part of the all that is. And in the silence that is within us, in the silence that simply is, regardless of the noise without, let us enthusiastically and expectantly return to our physical, material selves. And let us recall this experience as one of the many ways that we can remember, reconnect, and realign with the whole, with the all. With that power and that understanding, we can continue to experience this evening and live this evening. Every moment of the rest of the day, we can choose to live as the whole. We can sleep as the all. We can rise and experience every moment, every individual moment as part of the all. As part of everything that is always happening all at once. And so let us fully imagine ourselves as we turn inside out to emerge into our deep self. Let us imagine ourselves being pulled through that portal very slowly, being pulled through right side up as if we were being a glove that was turned back, returning to our physical selves that way, sensing our body, feeling that breath yet again as we inhale, pause, and exhale. And let us commit to, if we were like a glove being turned back to its right side out, let us imagine our final return to our physical selves, like someone blew air into that glove, pushed out the fingers completely for our last breath. So let's take one breath, inhale, and exhale. Again, inhale and exhale. And on our final breath, let us imagine those fingers popping out as we open our eyes. Inhale and exhale. And go back. I wish I had a glove that I could have blown in and so we could see our fingers popping back out so that we can imagine that return, that being pulled through the portal to our deep selves, and then are being pulled back out, and finally just popping back in, and all being here together in this ethereal space, having had very beautiful interaction, engagement, conversation with ourselves. The only real voice of the divine is the one that comes from within. So, with that in mind, that means that all that energy that's sent right to my physical space, because I'm going to physically send them out on behalf of us all. And thank you for the honor of doing this. I'll start with mine, my individual one first, and then we will send out the others. So, mine's coming first. Sending it out there, sending it to the universe. lighting up the world. Now, this is yours, mine, all of ours, going out into the universe so you can feel confident that the conversation you had with you is leading to your answers, your guidance, your journey. All right, so thank you all for taking that journey through me, with me, and to you, and through you. So let's see who was here. I see Sue has joined us on Zoom. I see Carol M has joined us. I'm guessing it's Carol McCaffrey. Hi. If it is you, thank you for joining tonight. So glad to see you. And let's see who is everywhere else. And Zoomers, I keep everybody on silent because those that are watching on YouTube and Facebook, we all want to be at the same advantage. So everybody gets a chance to write in the comments, which is why we have everybody silenced there. But I like the opportunity to be equal for everyone. And so we are on YouTube. Who's here? No one said hello, but I always find out that several have watched after I'm done. So Facebook is where we have all the action, isn't it? Let's see who we have on Facebook Live. I hope you guys have had a great Friday evening, and I hope that if you haven't, if you need to add your name and email address to my newsletter called The Fireball, if you need to add it to the list, please, again, forward that in the chat and I can pick that up and add you to the list for next week. Check out the Spiritual Minister Facebook page and website for updates. And let's check the Facebook page to see who's joining us. Wherever you've joined us from, whether it's YouTube, whether it is Facebook, whether it is now or whether it is later, because for you it's now, whenever you're watching. I'm very grateful for the energy and for the delightful experience that I have with us together. Hello, Mina always hits like and check, lets me know that she's here. And let's see. If I click like and check, lets me know that she's here. And I know others are watching today, so and others will watch. And I'll be grateful for you being here. And so, last time, so I gotta peek in a little more closely. All right. Well, let's get on with our summer evening, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. Again, I'm Reverend Robin Noshak, and I have been your guide as the spiritual minister, taking us deep within ourselves for answers, for questions, for guidance. And I invite you to continue to keep up with what's going on. Check out the spiritualminister.com webpage. There's a new blog post today, and it is all about the movie Everything Everywhere All at Once. But really as an inspiration to think about this idea of the multiverse, to think about this great opportunity that we have to think differently, to imagine even more, and also to check out a really great perspective of how the universe works. Xiaoyo, she's my gal now. She kicks some butt in this movie, so please take a look at it if you get a chance. And again, check out what's coming up. We've got our Course in Miracles discussion group. It is open. It's a drop-in group. We usually have a core group of people that have been attending for a while, but we welcome drop-ins. We are working with the book, The Course in Miracles Experiment by Pam Grout. And she has taken the Course in Miracles text, and specifically the workbook part of the text, and has really come up with a very accessible and doable experience of working the lessons from the Course in Miracles book. It's great. We just share what it was like for us to engage in this experience together every day. So we catch up once a week, and you can catch up too. So check out the website, Facebook page, the spiritualist minister, and we will see you at some time very soon. I love you all. It is Leo month. My birthday's tomorrow. I am a Leo, so glad you're all here. In my mind, it's my birthday, and I'm happy about that. So have a great evening. I do. I love you all, and I'm so grateful.